Well, hello everybody. Jeff Cowan here from Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk, and I'm back with a new edition of my podcast entitled Right Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, the path to making over $100,000 a year when writing service in the automotive industry in the United States of America, Canada, and Australia. And you know, at this very recording, just over 20% of you doing that job are doing just that. You're making over $100,000 a year, but that means that 80% of you watching this are not. So what are we going to do about that? Well, I encourage you, like always, to continue to watch and listen to my podcast. Go back and watch the other ones that I've done over the years. Go to my website, automotiveservicetraining.com, automotiveservicetraining.com, and there you will find articles and blogs and videos, processes, techniques, methods, everything you need to become the absolute best you can be and put yourself on that path to making six figures a year. Because if you're writing service today and you're not making six figures, it's simply because you're doing something wrong, and I can show you what you're doing wrong and show you how to do it right. Today's podcast is one that is we're going to follow a theme with I've had here recently, and that's where I take your questions from you, the viewers, that you've texted me, you emailed me, you've called in and asked me, you've asked me these at live events, and I'm answering them by using video clips from live events I've done in the past. So today's question is an interesting one. Jeff, I like to know, what do you think is one of the most important things about being a great service advisor? I know you've got several, but what do you think is one of the biggest ones there? And my answer to that is relationships. And so what I mean by that is, it can be answered in this next clip. Now, if you watch this clip and you like it, it's taken from a convention I did with the NADA a few years back. If you like the clip and want to watch the whole video, you can find it at nada.org, nada.org. But for right now, let me explain to you what I mean about relationships being the key to it all. Watch this clip, watch it many times, enjoy it, and know that I'll be back in a few weeks with some new podcasts. And until then, God bless you all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Make it a great week, okay?
What's missing on your service drives is your people don't know how to communicate to your customers because you've trained them not to. You've trained them to text. When's the last time somebody texted you to ask you for $800 and you said yes without talking to them? That's what you're asking your advisors to do. So here's what I want you to imagine. I want you to be open-minded. It's this easy. It's a missing piece. I want you to imagine a day when you walk out on your service drive and you have 2.5 hours per repair order, including oil changes. I want you to imagine a day when you walk out there and pricing becomes a non-issue because your effective labor is up around 95%. I want you to imagine a day when you're getting perfect survey scores and you have customer retention that's well above 80%. And I want you to imagine a day when you walk out there, there's no heat. There's no disgruntled customers. And this job all of a sudden turns into a career. I want you to imagine that day because that day is here. It's now. It's always been. We just forgotten it. I'm here to remind you. It's this simple. You don't need all the technology. Would I have it? Yeah, but if you're going to spend $13,000 a month on it, teach your people how to talk about it in a way the customer wants. 86% of all sales still require face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball, voice-to-voice contact. I'll leave you with this. When I met the woman of my dreams, I was living in Indianapolis. She lived in California. And I quickly realized that for this thing to work, we'd probably need to be in the same state, right? So I moved to California. When I did, my daughter didn't want to go. It was heartbreaking. We were like this. We made a promise. We'll text daily. We'll call at least once or twice a week, and our love will never die. So the first 6 months, that's what we did. But life happened, and those daily texts turned into weekly. Those weekly phone calls turned into monthly. And then one long after that, they turned into almost never. And I was losing one of the most valuable relationships I've ever had in my life. It was crushing. And I didn't know what to do. So I went to a very good friend of mine. His name is Mark Strucker. And he's got 4 beautiful daughters that are all going to be lawyers. It's an amazing feat. Him and his wife, they're just unbelievable parents. And I said, Mark, I don't know what to do. I mean, this is one of the most important, outside my wife, it's the most important relationship I have, and it's going away. And after talking to me for a few seconds, he looked back and he said, I can solve that for you. I said, please, please, how? He said, pick up the phone and call her. So I did. So now we went back, call her once a week. We text every 2 or 3 days. And so by talking to one another, we've established a relationship that's stronger than it's ever been. You see, what I'm here to tell you is this. Just like important relationships in your family, retail business is what you're in, it's about relationships. It always has been, always will be, and it certainly is today. So if you walk out here today and you're willing to be open-minded and test and believe that it's really this simple to get these numbers, and you teach your people and hold them accountable to memorizing word for word some simple word tracks, everything you're looking for will happen and happen very quickly over the next 3 to 9 months. It's that simple. It's always been about relationships. It's about relationships now, and it always will be.